the ultimate purpose of our cognitive faculties is to guarantee adaptive behavior, but not true belief. Thus, we have no reason to suspect that evolution, quote, gives us reason to trust our cognitive abilities. Rather, evolution provides a defeater for trustworthy cognitive faculties, i.e., its ultimate care about behavior and not truth.
Here's my first concern about this. It seems to be ignoring the role true beliefs actually play in adaptive behavior, or behavior that allows for better survivability. Let's take Plantinga's example of Paul.
Paul is a prehistoric hominid. Let us suppose that given his environment, his survival is heavily dependent on tiger avoidance. Okay? In other words, let's say there's a big honking tiger after him. There would be many behaviors that Paul would that would be appropriate in this event, right? Fleeing, for example, or climbing a steep rock face, or hiding in a hole that's too small for the tiger, right? These would all be appropriate in this circumstance. But clearly, this tiger avoidance behavior could result from countless other belief-desire combinations.
Indeed it can. However, the question we need to ask is, what is necessary for these actions, behaviors, beliefs to affect survivability? Here's what I mean. Now we have these various behaviors, right? Running, climbing trees, whatever. But what's important is that he has these behaviors when presented with a tiger. My point being is that for any of these actions, behaviors, attitudes to be effective in terms of survivability, Paul would first have to be correct in the belief that there's a tiger trying to get him. Because if he's wrong about that, and there is no tiger out to get him, then him performing any of these actions would not affect his survivability. Even with this just flat out absurd belief,
he thinks the tiger is a continuously occurring illusion, and in order to keep himself in shape, Paul has a resolution to run 1.5 miles at top speed whenever he's presented with a tiger.
His cognitive faculties have to be working well enough to at least make him aware that there's a tiger there, even though he believes it's a delusion. My point being that even though in this scenario the selective forces would select for even this crazy belief, it's also selecting for this ability to determine that a tiger is there to begin with, which would be true regardless of what he might believe. Which leads me to my second concern, namely, how exactly are they coming to the conclusion that it would be unlikely for our cognitive abilities to be reliable if there is evolution, only evolution? Here's what I mean. In order for them to really make the case that it would be unlikely, would be if they could demonstrate that the selective forces would actually select against true beliefs and would rather select for beliefs that are false. That's the only way they could really make the case that it would be unlikely. However, since they do not, and the example itself is kind of ambiguous as to what exactly is more adaptive, these false beliefs or these true beliefs, my point being, neither Veritas nor telemantros, or actually I guess we should just say Plantinga, has presented enough convincing evidence to support the notion that evolution would actually select against true beliefs, since that is what would make it unlikely if evolution would actually select against. But based on the examples they've given, it seems both are fair play, meaning selecting for true beliefs is just as likely as selecting for false ones. So I don't see how this makes it unlikely as much as it means it's an equal shot either way.